If you're a surfer wanting to make the most of every wave you catch, so that you can not only have 10 times more fun, but speed track your surfing progression, so you're actually spending more time out in the water on waves than not, then we have an extremely valuable video today, where I'm gonna take you to Chacama in Peru, one of the longest point breaks in the world, to personally show you in real time, positioning in the lineup, positioning on the board, and positioning on the wave, the trifecta of perfect positioning that the best surfers utilize. And I'm also gonna share my tip for being able to do this in the most toughest and precarious conditions at the end of this video today, so stay tuned for that. And if you are new here, my name's Considine, and I'm a professional longboarder, a surf coach, and a physical therapist, or a physio, depending on where you're from. And I started a platform called longboardsessions.com to help surfers experience the best out of their surfing. And today I'm here to help you unlock your full surfing potential, no matter where you're at. Look at this. Unbelievable. Oh, it is cold this morning. All right, pedaling wide for this one. Let's see how we go. Alright, fast up again. Alright, lost my board, so going to get that, going to retrieve. What you can probably see from the first few waves there is that I'm definitely too deep. I tried to sit where everyone else did out the back at the peak, but the waves are reeling off way too quickly there, so it happens to us all. We just need to understand that, take note of, and adjust. Alright, got my board. So today, what I was doing at the start is I was sitting where these people were over here, but this section is just so fast. Looks like the real section that we want to be on, except for that wave, that looks great, but might be a little bit wider over here. So I am going to try and head wider over to this peak that you can see coming up behind this wave, and see how that goes. So that point of us being too deep at the start is really, really important, and it's something that probably brings us to the first point of today's video, which is always looking ahead. We've got to make sure that we're really conscious of where we are, especially when we're riding the wave. If you're not looking ahead at what's happening and upcoming with you on the wave, then you're likely to choose the wrong maneuvers at the wrong time, and that'll either interrupt your flow so you're losing speed and you can't progress with the wave because it'll race off without you, or you'll just get caught behind altogether because you haven't noticed there's a fast section. So it's really important. I'm going to shift tactics, move down the line, see if I can get some longer waves now. Alright, paddling much wider to make sure I'm ready for the next section that comes through. And so the thing I wanted to speak about with respect to keeping the wave and getting longer rides and really utilising speed really effectively is going to be around your positioning on the board. So on the next wave, I just want you to pay attention to where I'm on the board. Am I on the tail? Am I in the midpoint of the board? And how am I using that to gain speed? Let's take a look at that. Bit of a smaller one, but we'll see how we go. Mid third of the board. Yeah, and that's another good point. With a mid-third of the board, we just have to do it on smaller waves. another thing. I've got this little rental with this little, probably like an 7 inch fin. If you want to hold your nose rides, get a bigger fin. Definitely in the better spot now. Look at these waves. Phew. So that was an epic one. Took me all the way through. Big things on that one. So I had a fast section at the start. Then I really had to get myself in the middle of the board to make that middle section. That middle section was fast. I almost didn't make it, but I did, which allowed me to connect that extra section at the end there, get a nice turn in. If I was at the tail then, I just could not have made it through. It wouldn't be possible because on a longboard, we've got so much board with this, it just causes too much drag with our feet, even 2 feet at the tail. We've got to have both feet, especially that front foot, closer to the center. Now, something I'm trying really hard to do with these waves as well, and it's difficult when it's small, but it's to stay around the top third of the wave. And it's all by making sure we have adequate inside rail pressure. So inside rail pressure is the key to making sure that our inner rail hugs into the wave, making sure we don't get caught too low. We'll get caught too low if we have too much pressure on that outside rail for too long, drawing us down the wave face and into the flats, which is where we lose our speed. We don't want to be there. So on this next one, have a look at how I'm using inside rail pressure to make sure I have that inside rail hugged into the wave, and making sure I'm not falling into the flats, losing speed, but gaining speed at the mid to the top third of the wave, accelerating down the line. Nice one coming here. Oh yeah. Popped up in the middle for speed. Just gonna hang here. I believe I dropped my GoPro on that one. I suppose if we're talking about another one of the key problems that we see with people and why their waves aren't longer and why they're not getting more out of waves, it is all to do with getting through tricky sections. And there's one main reason that people find themselves with a lot of difficulty doing this, and that's because when we go through tricky sections, the body seizes up and we get really stiff and tall with the legs, which isn't what we want. The ideal scenario, if we're going through a tricky section, whether this is we're going really fast and we're just trying to hold on, or if we're going through some kind of hectic whitewater or something like that, we're trying to beat through that whitewater to get to the next section, what we want to do is we want to stay low with the knees, but not with the body. So we want to make sure that we're bending the knees maybe 45 degrees, but the body is still relatively tall. We don't need to be hunched over. But the second thing is that we're not locked in that position, that we're somewhat soft with the knees, okay? So we're not locking ourselves up, but we're keeping loose. Easier said than done, but we need to make sure we're keeping loose so that we've got the shock absorbers, so they're not stuck in one position, but the body can move and adapt to what the wave is doing, because the wave will move and try and chuck us off course, and it's best if we've got soft knees to prepare us for that. Mid-third to accelerate. And I just want to take a quick moment to thank all of the new members since last video at longboardsessions.com. It's been a blast again, working with everyone closely, providing feedback to see the results that we're seeing. It's just been a blast. So thanks so much once again. And if you did find the video valuable today, then please feel free to subscribe, as well as check out the video somewhere here that's going to run you through some really, really good techniques to improve your backhand surfing. We'll catch you on the next one.